You're right on time for Hope TV NewsWatch on this 13th day of February 2024. A very good evening to you and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Kennedy Kimani and my co-presenter on the sign language interpretation tonight is Boniface Murithi. Now, as Kenya joined the world in marking World Radio Day today, Media Owners Association chairperson Agnes Kaleche has called on the government to support radio sustainability. Speaking during the celebrations in Kisii County, Kaleche urged the government to allocate resources towards radio's growth and development and also collaborate with media leadership, broadcasters and other stakeholders to address the changing needs and the challenges of the radio industry. And as our very own Alice Diana now reports, the MOA chairperson also expressed her gratitude to radio hosts, technicians, and listeners who have dedicated their lives to the medium over the years.
Kenya today joined the rest of the world in celebrating a powerful medium that has informed, entertained, and educated people around the world for over a century. Here in the country, the celebrations were held in Kisii County, where an eminent panel of radio experts discussed the changing face of radio. Speaking during the celebrations, Media Owners Association chairperson Agnes Kaleche noted that sustaining radio operations in the digital environment requires investment and support. She called on the government to support radio sustainability by allocating resources towards radio's growth and development.
Capacity and available budgets. Some stations seek to maximize their entertainment role over other functions like news. Ultimately, a radio station survival is dependent on the free choice of listeners. You simply cannot ram content into people's ears, wapende wasipende. To young people considering careers in radio should not be scared of this alleged takeover of airwaves by entertainers. Instead, they must pay attention to the changes taking place in this medium. Unlike in the past where all that was needed was a good voice for the mic, today successful broadcast journalists must have a wide array of skills to make one consummate content creator as an informer, educator, and entertainer all rolled into one. Today, I would also like to take a moment to address the government, and I'm happy that our regulator is represented here, Communication Authority.
The MOA chairperson also urged the government to work together with media leadership, broadcasters and other stakeholders in order to help the companies develop innovative strategies to adapt to the evolving media landscape and ensure that radio remains a vibrant and relevant medium for generations to come. She further noted that media owners have a responsibility to uphold the values that radio represents.
We urge the government to recognize the significance of radio and allocate resources towards its growth and development. This support can come in various forms, such as providing funding opportunities, reducing regulatory burdens, working with the industry to develop spectrum management strategies that meet the need of broadcasters. At the same time, providing tax incentive to encourage investment in the industry. And lastly, creating a sustainable.
Media Council of Kenya CEO David Omoyo challenged media owners to think about the quality in terms of journalists and content and uphold the sacred space in getting reliable information.
That I think it's a time also for us to reflect that as we celebrate the quantity, what have we done to the quality? That the more radios we have, the more listeners we have, we should also get finer radio personalities and finer journalists doing that. And that's why in a special way we appreciate the veteran journalists here who have taken it upon themselves to accompany the young journalists in the region. From here we're going to of course launch their press club and launch the local media center and media hub where the journalists can be meeting to share information, share ideas, and fine-tune the work that they do, because we have a duty to make sure that information transmitted across these sacred channels is accurate and informative.
Deputy Director of Multimedia Services at Communications Authority of Kenya, Alfred Ambani, noted that currently 291 radio stations are on air. He stated that CEA has developed a framework for digital sound broadcasting, which is expected to complement FM and existing radio stations.
Fully allocated, it's not available, but there are so many developments that are happening. So we believe that things will change, and when you are in a position to broadcast and the spectrum is available, you will be considered.
Alice Diana, Hope TV Newswatch.
Thank you so much, Alice, for that report. Now, let's get closer home. The 13th of February every year marks the World Radio Day, and Hope Media team joined the rest of the world in commemorating and taking stock of how the radio medium has revolutionized in the world. The World Radio Day was set aside by UNESCO in recognition of the role radio plays in relaying information nearly to every corner of the world. The theme of this year's World Radio Day is embracing radio past, present, and future. Our reporter Nelias Onjuro spoke with the radio presenters and crew at Home Media and filed these reports.
It is believed that the first radio transmission was made by Guglielmo Marconi in 1895, and radio broadcasting of music and talk that was aimed towards a wider audience came into existence around 1905 to 1960. These are the gains that from the World Radio Day celebration every year since the February 13th was marked by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization UNESCO. To mark the day here in Hope Media, our Hope FM presenters, news anchor and radio producers reflected on the impact radio has brought and the future of radio in the next generation. This year's theme for the day being embracing radio past, present and future, they have added that radio remains undefeated in performing its role despite the emerging of digital platform that informs, entertains and educates.
A very good morning. I sure do trust you're having a wonderful time. My name is Shiko and of course this is Praise Junction. Happy World Radio Day.
Radio has been described as the most dominant and critical mass medium, not only in Africa but in the entire world. The medium came into existence commercially in 1920s as radio stations came into existence almost 3 decades later.
Yo, it's your guy in the building, God's boy, David King. We're taking you through Praise Junction all the way to 1 in the PM with Shiko Mbogo, like she said. And happy World Radio Day.
According to the United Nations, the objective of World Radio Day is to raise greater awareness among the public and media regarding the importance of radio. The day also aims to encourage radio stations to provide access information through their medium and enhance networking international cooperation among broadcasters. Radio is also a powerful medium for celebrating humanity because of its diversity. This is attributed to its unique ability to reach the widest audience.
Wow, what does radio mean to me? Radio means family, it means friendship, it means connection, it means a lot. I mean, there's so many experiences and encounters I could share about radio, but let me just say radio should live forever because I have seen great impact it has brought in my life and in the lives of many people.
With radio having crossed the 100-year milestone, it is a significant occasion to commemorate the medium's extensive virtues and continuing potency. However, radio faces challenges to its audience and revenue numbers from digital platforms, social media, and digital and generation divide, censorship, consolidation, and economic hardship.
Being in this space, I've seen the growth of radio. I've been part of radio. And even with the emergence of social media or what you call digital media, it's worth noting that traditional media, one of them being radio, still has its own niche. This is because of proxy. This is because of its cost effectiveness and its proxy to every other places that it's able to reach out to.
Despite its wide success, radio has also faced a number of challenges, key among them the digital disruption that has seen the rise of podcasts and online radios.
For me, radio is such an amazing tool, such a dynamic tool for actually shaping the mindsets and perspectives of people, right? So anytime we sit down here, we're actually thinking about our generation and the generations to come. What information are they getting about life, about God, about business, about money? And I think for me, that is the greatest thing about radio.
In reporting and informing the general public, radio stations shape public opinion and frame a narrative that can influence domestic and international situations and decision-making processes. Radio remains the most widely consumed medium in Kenya with over 200 stations broadcasting in different dialects.
That has been the World Radio Day, and here in Hope FM and Hope Media at large, you have joined others to celebrate this day. Remember, radio is a very basic tool to inform, entertain, and also to make sure you know what is happening all over the world. Despite what has been happening, the social media and every other thing, radio remains to be a vital tool to inform you. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, my name is Nelias Wanjiru.
Thank you so much, Nelias, for that report, and a happy World Radio Day to all the radio broadcasters and to the listeners, because without you, radio could not be there. Away from that, and President William Ruto has called on world governments to embrace technological change to promote efficiency and accountability in their daily endeavors. The head of state made the remarks at the World Government Summit in Dubai, where he urged the nations to seize the opportunities that technology presents, particularly for the younger generation. Our very own Grace Ahati with the report.
All public and private institutions.
In efforts to leverage the transformative power of technology in shaping the future landscape of governance and international cooperation across the globe, President William Ruto has urged nations to seize the opportunities that technology presents, particularly for the younger generation. In a compelling address at the World Government Summit in Dubai, UAE, President Ruto urged governments worldwide not to succumb to the fear of the unknown, underscoring the significance of embracing technological advancements to enhance efficiency and accountability in governance. President Ruto also emphasized the importance of joint actions and international support through an organization to ensure a prosperous future for humanity, further noting that by doing this, countries can contribute resources and knowledge to improve their collective chances of winning now and in the future.
We must not allow the fear of the future unknown deprive bright youngsters like Brian of opportunities. If we sacrifice the benefits of progress hoping for security, we risk losing both. And if ever there was a case for great urgency in formulating a framework for deployment of AI and machine learning, young Brian and his cohort places it in sharp focus.
Commending Kenya for its innovative strides in the technological sector, President Ruto highlighted the remarkable success of the M-Pesa mobile banking system. He shared that last year alone, digital mobile phone technologies facilitated the million farmers in Kenya and enabled the timely delivery of fertilizers.
Our proudest moment as Kenya, which has come to define our country in the digital technology space, is mobile money. With this understanding, we have exploited our digital revolution to transform the public and private service delivery landscape, enabling government to reach more people, accelerating the performance of key sectors, serve the previously marginalized, achieve inclusion, and improve the well-being of all, especially vulnerable and disadvantaged groups.
To further capitalize on these technological advancements, the president also announced plans to digitize all government services by the end of this year, aiming to enhance accessibility for all citizens.
We are now finalizing the process of enhancing e-government by digitizing all government processes and automating public services to make them accessible to all citizens. In the last 1 year, we have digitized government services from 5% to 80%.
It is worth noting that Africa has demonstrated impressive growth in information and communication technology ICT development, as reported by the International Telecommunication Union ITU. The continent has witnessed a significant increase in internet penetration and mobile usage, with an estimated 477 million unique mobile phone subscribers in 2021, representing a penetration rate of 44%. This progress highlights the potential for further advancements and opportunities in the ICT sector across Africa and beyond. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Grace Ahati.
Thank you so much, Grace, for that report. The Public Service Commission has revealed that over 2,000 public officers secured jobs, promotions, and redesignations using fake academic papers. This was revealed after the commission undertook an authentication exercise on the academic credentials of public officers. The commission's chairperson, Anthony Mushiri, has forwarded the findings of the report over to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations for necessary legal action against the officers affected. Our very own Brian Mugambi with the details.
All public and private institutions of learning
including universities and tertiary institutions, and the Kenya National Examinations Council. These institutions were required to submit to the Commission lists of their graduates in their respective institutions in the last 10 years. They also to submit to the Commission lists of their graduates in subsequent graduations in their respective institutions at the end of every calendar year. And they were to provide the Public Service Commission with access and verification credentials for online verification of prospective job seekers seeking candidates' academic and professional certificates. The Commission further directed all authorized officers in public institutions to undertake an audit of academic and professional certificates of all officers employed in the last 10 years, dismiss from service in accordance with the provisions of Public Service Commission Act 2017 and other statutory instruments any other officer found in possession of forged certificates, and continuously validate academic and professional certificates prior to any appointment and promotion, and thereafter file quarterly returns to the Commission. Reports so far received reveal that substantial cases of forged academic and professional certificates have been used for the award of appointments, promotions, or redesignation in the public service. Most ministries, departments, and agencies with verified cases of forged or fraudulently obtained certificates have instituted disciplinary action, including termination of service.
Moving on swiftly, and Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki said the government is continuously reviewing interventions for sustaining the war on terror and other threats to national security. Speaking when he held engagements with frontline officers at the newly established Salama camp in Lamu and members of the local communities, CS Kindiki reiterated that the establishment of additional security facilities, constant review of existing operational capabilities, and a generation of durable solutions to complex security threats require regular reviews and locally processed measures.
For many years now, we have had low investments of public resources in terms of modernizing the equipment to allow our security officers defend themselves from danger and protect the people of Kenya. We have not invested well in terms of equipment, and for a long time, our capabilities have not been replenished and they have not been improved. And that is why one of the first programs the president announced was an equipment modernization program for the National Police Service, as well as other organs of our national security, including the Kenya Defence Forces. For the National Police Service, the next 5 years, this administration will spend 37 billion shillings, and already 7 billion shillings has been spent to purchase equipment which has already arrived in the country. The first batch arrived during the December holidays, and the supplier now is putting together, assembling the equipment. Anytime from this week, next week, we'll be commissioning that equipment, which includes armored personnel carriers and also mine-resistant ambush protected vehicles. We are also expecting personal protection equipment for our officers, UAVs, that is unmanned aerial vehicles, and eventually we are also going to acquire for the National Police Service helicopter gunships, so that working together with our partners, the Kenya Defence Forces and other security agencies, we can degrade the enemy, we can dominate every inch of our territory.
Now, in an effort to combat child abuse, particularly cases involving early pregnancy, Bumula Member of Parliament Jack Wanami Wamboka has emphasized on the importance of swift action in curbing early pregnancy, gender-based violence, and promoting comprehensive health education among the youth. The MP said this during the distribution of menstrual cups in local schools. Our very own Kate and Diego has more details.
In a concerted effort to combat the prevalent issues of early pregnancies and gender-based violence, the Bungoma County government, spearheaded by Buluma Member of Parliament Jack Wanami, in collaboration with the Wanami Wamboka Foundation, has undertaken a significant initiative that involves the distribution of menstrual cups to girls in the region. The move aims at alleviating the financial burden associated with menstrual hygiene management, while recognizing the importance of comprehensive education in addressing these pressing issues. Both boys and girls were provided with educational sessions focused on promoting awareness about reproductive health.
Sasa kupitia Wanami Wamboka Foundation, sisi tulitafuta menstrual cups. Na hii ni shule ya 7 ambayo tuna provide leo. Tulianza na Siekumulo, tukakuja Bumula, Bunambovi, Kware, Mukuyuni. Hii ni shule ya 7. Na tuna mpango ya kukava shule zote. Kila siku tunafanya shule 3. Hii siku ya leo tutafanya shule 3. Hii na gani?
Wesimiha na Mikokwe.
Hii Wesimiha na Mikokwe siku ya leo. Kila siku 3. We will cover the 110 schools, primary schools. Baada ya hapo tutaingia pia kwa shule za upili ambapo tutakava pia zote.
During the distribution event, MP Wanami issued a stern warning to those involved in sexual relations with young girls, stressing that strict legal action would be taken against perpetrators.
Ukipatikana wewe unahusika na hali ya ngono na mtoto wa shule, hapo we will not debate. Hatuta debate. Na hata ikiwezekana watoe makende. Yeah, we will not agree. Because men are becoming beasts. Wanaenda kushika watoto, wanawaharibia future yao. You see, mtu anaenda kulala na huyo mtoto. Huyo mtoto anapata mimba, ana drop out of school. Na yeye maisha yake yanaendelea. Awe mwanafunzi wa shule ingine ya upili ama university, maisha yake yanafanya nini? Inaendelea. Na huyo mwanafunzi umemwacha, hatutakubali hiyo kabisa. Sisi hatutakubali hiyo. Na lazima hiyo ikome. Na hakuna kitu kama kangaroo court. Ukipatikana, we have even gone ahead to give incentives to our bodaboda. Wewe ukibeba tu mtoto wa shule, ukimweka mahali kwa hoteli, pigia mimi simu. Hiyo simu tu wewe uko na 5,000. Na ile maneno yatafuata hapo, hawatakubali.
In addition to government and foundational efforts, healthcare professionals, including doctors and nurses, played a pivotal role in the initiative. They not only highlighted the importance of menstrual cups, but also provided valuable education on their usage, emphasizing their positive impact on menstrual hygiene and overall well-being.
This menstrual cup will last us 10 years. 10 years from now, our girl will be through with even the university. And it will be of great help. Tunasema asante kwa sababu ya hii project na imetusaidia pia kupatiana manufaa masomo ile muhimu kwa watoto wetu concerning early pregnancy na gender based violence. Na tumegundua kuwa watoto wengi wanaharasiwa huku nje lakini hawakuwa na information ya kuwa wanaweza enda kuripoti kwa ajili ya uoga. Kupitia kwa hii menstrual cup ya Wanami Wamboka Foundation tunajaribu kumingle na watoto na kusikiza maoni yao na kupata jinsi ile tutaweza kuwasaidia.
Any concerns about rape case kwa watoto wetu wasichana ama kwa violated their rights tunaziaddress, na kwa jumla tunapeana huduma ambayo inahitajika kisheria na pia kulingana na Ministry of Health. Katika mpango huu tunatarajia kufikia at least wasichana 32,000.
The initiative was met with heartfelt appreciation from the students who expressed their gratitude for the support and resources provided.
Mimi nilikuwa nimeshaanza hiyo hali lakini nilikuwa natumia hizi sanitary towels. Sasa vile tumesikia mheshimiwa ametuletea hizi menstrual cups. Tunashukuru sana kwa sababu hizi zinakaa sana. Alafu challenge yenye tunapata tukitumia hizo sanitary towels, saa zingine unaweza kuwa hauna na hata hauna mbele wala nyuma, lakini hizi tunajua zitaishi miaka kama 10 hivi, zitakuwa zimetusaidia sana, zitatufikisha mbali sana.
Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, my name is Kate Andiego.
Thank you, Kate, for the reportage. Now, Ichuni Ward Member of County Assembly, Wycliffe Siocha, has brought forth an impeachment motion against Deputy Governor Robert Monda in the Kisii County Assembly upon the Assembly's return from recess. The allegations against Deputy Governor Monda include misuse of office, gross misconduct, and violation of the Constitution. A significant majority, with 51 out of 61 members, have signed the impeachment motion, indicating widespread support for Deputy Governor Monda's removal.
Further, the Deputy Governor, Honorable Dr. Robert Onsare Monda, has been failed to uphold the oath of office, and instead he has grossly violated the Constitution of Kenya, has abused the office, and his conduct is wanting. Now, therefore, the House resolves that Honorable Robert Onsare Monda be removed from office, by impeachment. I hereby give a 7 days notice calling for the impeachment of the Deputy Governor. Attached here too, it is a list of signatures, because I've managed to talk to my colleagues, and for avoidance of doubt, a total of 51 members of the Kisii County Assembly have appended their signatures in support of my motion. Thank you.
Follow the due process. Allegations have been read in the Assembly, and we want to assure the public that we are going to ensure that the process is followed to the letter, and that we are going to ensure that fairness, even to the accused DG, is going to be respected. We have started the process this morning. We are going, of course, to give him time for him to come and defend himself. So we are only saying to the public that even the chief officers should be chief officers, the ministers. This is a process that has started to ensure that service delivery is going to be to the people of Kisii County. You cannot be given a responsibility as the deputy governor, and then you are not taking your work serious.
Well, that's politics for you. With that, it's time for a short break here on Hope TV News. But after the break, I'll be back with the business and sports news. Stick around.
Africa International University takes pride in being at the forefront of producing Christ-centered leaders, transforming Africa and the world. At AIU, we lead, we innovate, we inspire, and we are a family bound by a common goal of transforming the world. There is no better time to think about your career transformation in an international community. Our intakes are in January, May, and September and are currently ongoing. Embark today on an exciting and life-building academic journey by enrolling in our diverse certificates, diplomas, bachelor's, postgraduates, master's, or PhD programs. Africa International University, a university in the heart of Africa, with Africa on its heart.
Now let's get down to business. And Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports Cabinet Secretary Ababuna Mwamba has today welcomed the partnership between Kenya and Los Angeles through Invention Studios. The partnership is meant to support and promote the production of Kenyan stories through film and television. Here is Abigail Namude with the details.
The Cabinet Secretary for Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports, Ababu Namwamba, has today hosted Nicholas Waystock, founder and president of Invention Studios in LA, US, in regards to the partnership that is meant to support and promote the production of Kenyan stories through film and television. Addressing the press, CS Namwamba said the partnership between Kenya and the US-based Invention Studios will kick off this month and comes a week after he visited Los Angeles, where he met and had extensive discussions with Nicholas Waystock, the founder and president of Invention Studios, in the implementation roadmap of the agreement signed between Kenya and Invention Studios in September last year. Another partner expected to come on board is Lawrence Depsonon, founder of the 1500 Sound Academy Studios, who will explore training partnerships through the Talanta Hela initiative for upcoming artists' growth. The partnership will focus on skills capacity development, creative development, international talent resources, distribution and exchange programs. On the other hand, Kenya will provide incentives programs, location, liaison services, and foster further partnerships with equipment rental companies. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I am Abigail Namude.
And to some sporting action now, Absa Bank Kenya PLC yesterday announced a 75 million shillings investment towards the upcoming 2024 Magical Kenya Open tournament. The Magical Kenya Open serves as a premier global stage where golfers from across the globe converge to exhibit their talents and vie for victory at the Muthaiga Golf Club, renowned as one of the region's most prestigious and challenging courses. Scheduled to take place from the 22nd to the 25th of February this year, the tournament promises thrilling competition and unparalleled excitement for players and spectators alike. This year's edition will, for the first time in Africa, feature golf for the disabled, with 10 players from all over the world.
These collaborations are instrumental in providing the necessary resources to organize world-class events and support our athletes in their pursuit of excellence. And so, ladies and gentlemen, Government of Kenya recognizes the significant role of the private sector in elevating sports. I'm particularly happy and grateful by how Absa Bank has demonstrated your passion in elevating golf and other sports. I have met you in athletics. I have met you in many other sporting arena, and I know that you're making some very substantive investments.
On behalf of Kenya Open Golf Limited, I'd like to thank our partner Absa, who has been with us for 14 years, as you've heard. They saw us come from the Challenge Tour. They saw us grow the prize money, I think from about 15 million shillings, the total sponsorship at that time, to now going to about 60 million, which is a great amount of money from them. And we hope that with the encouragement of government being the main sponsor at the moment, that the private sector in this will see the value that you can co-create on this event and eventually take the lead and kick the government out. Because the government should really be spending money on development and sponsorship of events like this.
For the year 2024, if I can come to that part of the announcement, our total commitment into MKO is Kenya shillings 75 million Kenya shillings in total, of which, as Patrick mentioned, 55 million will go directly to KOGL to support the logistics and the organization and the prizes and all that we do. And 20 million will be used on surrounding activities such as publicity, advertising, and many of the other activities that we do.
Conor Gallagher scored twice at Chelsea, came from behind to win 3-1 at Selhurst Park and increased the pressure on Crystal Palace manager Roy Hodgson. The Blues dominated the opening period of the match, but it was Palace who took the lead thanks to Jefferson Lerma. It, however, took just 2 minutes of the second half for the Blues to level. Chelsea continued to push for a winner, and Gallagher secured it in stoppage time with a neat first-time finish before Enzo Fernandez added a composed finish at the near post to help lift his side to 10th in the EPL table. Now, after so much criticism that Chelsea players are spending so much time in the salon than in the training ground, finally, the cries have paid off and Chelsea are back to their winning ways. I know my emotions, and the graphics designer, Ken Miner, is a happy man. Well, with that, we come to the end of our news tonight. Many thanks to you for watching Hope TV Newswatch. We really do appreciate the value of your time. On behalf of the whole team that made this bulletin a success, have yourselves a blessed night. My name is Kennedy Kimani, and my co-presenter on the sign language interpretation tonight has been Boniface Moredi.